To the Batmobile. Let's go.
Atomic batteries to power. Turbines to speed.
Here, ready to move out.
Seriously.
It's Colin. Everything's a joke. What do you call it? See if he'll answer.
Life's a joke.
Can you hear the ring?
Yes.
I do want to answer. What if he doesn't answer? What do I do? We'll just fart around for an hour, I guess.
So we have a freestyle rhyme battle.
Yeah. We'll talk about Dr. Fate for now.
You've reached Gary's cell phone, and I can't come to the phone right now. If you leave your name and number, I'll get back to you as soon as I can.
To page this person,
We have to
press
leave him a
5
message.
now.
Yeah.
At the tone,
It's gonna be funny.
please record your message. At the end of your message,
I'll
press
put the mic
1.
up to it. Hey, Gary, this is Christopher Mosier, and I have Will McKenzie with me from the Fan Film Podcast. It's about 5 after 8, and I'm not sure if you remember, we were going to give you a call tonight.
Hello.
Hello. I'll give you my number. It's and like I said, it's about 5 after 8. So if you get this in the next 10-15 minutes, give us a call. And in the meantime, I guess we'll just talk about your film until we hear from you. Okay, thanks.
Bye-bye.
Okay.
What's up with that? Like, you're supposed to be on tonight, dude. What's going on here?
Well, his email was, what are good days and times for you?
Right.
Blah, 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 blah. Can you make it 8 p.m.? I'll still be at work at 7. I wonder if he is from Ohio. If he's from California, it's definitely not 8 p.m.
Curiouser and curiouser. I have no idea.
Gary Lobstein. Is that his name? Gary Lobstein?
It's Lobstein, I believe, yes. It might be Lobstein, we might be corrected, who knows. Could go either way. What was that in Young Frankenstein? It's Frankenstein!
You are talking about the nonsensical ravings of a lunatic mind.
All right, here's my pet peeve about people with fan films and fan films in general. Are you ready?
Okay, I want to hear this, because I'm sure I have a good response. Go ahead.
And unfortunately, Gary is in this realm, and it's nothing against Gary or anyone else, because we all have
Oh boy, we're dead.
we all have different money concerns, but I can't stand fan films that are hosted on free websites. And his isn't bad, because there isn't a million pop-up windows,
Right.
but it's those fan films with 10 pop-up windows that pisses me right off, and right when I go to that, I know it's not necessarily going to be a good fan.
You got pop-ups during the Dr. Fate films?
No, I'm saying his is okay. He's got advertisements
I didn't get any.
on the website itself. I'm talking about these other fan film sites that when I go to their site, like 15 pop-up windows come up. Not necessarily Gary's. I'm talking others.
I've never had that happen.
If you go to his site,
Yeah.
don't you see advertisements on?
I mean, I see advertisements like Tripod or et cetera, et cetera. I don't really see. I thought you were talking about like pop-up windows, like buy some Viagra, like that kind of a thing.
Well, I'm talking other fan films. When you go to their websites, there's like pop-up windows.
It looks really it looks really like ragtag. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, his is okay because at least it's not popping up in my face in a million.
And he's on Tripod. That's the host of Fanboy Theater, by the way. He's going to give them a quick plug.
Fanboy what?
FanboyTheater.com. Coming to a theater near you. So what did you check out Hulk Aftermath?
Yeah, I actually did.
What'd you think?
I don't think I've seen it before. Did he?
I saw it a long time ago.
Did he use effects from the movie? I think and sync.
He actually used clips, but I thought he did it really well. Like he limited the clip usage, but he also kind of played with it a little bit.
Yeah. And
he gets points because he uses the Gray Hulk, which I love. I'm a big fan of the Gray Hulk.
So basically, he meshed it.
Yeah. He did his own, and then he added... I hate people who do this, like, fan trailer thing where they cut up 8 different movies and put them together. I hate that.
Yeah. The only really good one I ever saw was when they did RoboCop and Terminator.
Oh, well, yeah, those are sometimes well done.
That was
like
cool.
Terminator versus RoboCop.
Yeah,
I can understand fanboys out there, me being one, I understand that. You want to see, like, it would be great to see a trailer with Superman and Batman and Aquaman and all these people together in the same thing. But you got to understand, it just doesn't look good.
Right.
When it's done, it looks like it's what it's supposed to be.
Right.
It's a collage.
Yeah.
It's not one piece.
No, I agree with you there.
That's what it looks like. And then they put in some bad music in the background, like Limp fucking Biscuit. Just making it completely awful.
Right.
And I'm at the point of vomiting. I'm just like, oh God, why? Or like I'll get tricked into it. It'll say new Batman fan film. And I'm like, oh cool, never saw this one. And then I click on it, and some BS with like, Christian Bale mixed in with the Tim Burton Batman, and I'm like, what's going on here?
There's a Justice League one out there, which is just like what you're indicating, and you know exactly where those clips are from. And
like Batman Returns mixed in with, Superman Returns.
In the 80s Wonder Woman, or the 70s Wonder Woman.
Yeah, it's like it's not even the same film stock. It's ancient film.
Right, exactly.
But they did clean it up nicely for the DVDs. I've seen the DVDs, and they're really good.
Oh, I haven't.
But good. Yeah. I'm all about me some old school Wonder Woman. She helped. With Will Ferrell. Whoa.
I'm not sure who this is, but
This should be fun.
hello? Is this Gary? Oh, I gotta turn you up. Hang on a second.
Yeah, I can't hear him.
Yes,
Oh, there you are. Okay. This is Gary Lobstein?
Lobstein.
Lobstein, okay.
Bob Stein. See, this is Will. How you doing, buddy?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh, not too bad. I was just talking to Chris earlier about it. Like be Steen or Stein, one or the other, so they stand corrected on it.
We don't do well with the name.
Well, neither do I. It's okay.
I'm Christopher Mosier. I do the Fan Film Follies thing, and this is Will McKenzie, and he does Fanboy Theater.
Yes.
And you guys have seen my films, I guess.
Yeah, we saw good segue. We saw Hulk Aftermath, Dr. Fate and the Crawling Chaos, and A Question of Fate, the newer one by Gary.
The latest.
The latest and greatest.
I believe you're going to do a series, like a couple more of those, or am I wrong?
Well, my original intention was just to make the one, but then we thought, wouldn't it be kind of cool if I had the time to make it a serial? So I thought I would make it a 3-parter. So there will be sometime a third part to that series.
Cool.
Will there be any? Because you put the question in your second one. There is going to be any other DC heroes making cameos?
Not in my notes for the originals, but the question will probably be back.
Cool.
Sequel. The third one is basically going to be one big fight. It's the climax, so it'll be one big fight between the Dr. Fate and the Crawling Chaos himself.
What would the chaos be? Like a more like an energy being, or will it be like a monster, or is that going to be for like kept secret, or?
I was actually thinking about doing something with having the fight be between Dr. Fate and the guy with the gold mask. And I haven't thought about doing anything past that because I've only got so much to work with here. I mean, if I had a good computer graphics person who could work me up a CGI thing with tentacles, that would be great.
I've seen some attempts at tentacles, and they're not pretty. I saw one in particular was a Doc Octopus. They're trying to do the arms with the computer, and it just, oh Lord.
I think I've seen it.
It was a nightmare. And it's funny, I told the guy, like, not to, diss your film or anything, but that was definitely, it needed a lot of work, and you really shouldn't even put it in there.
Yikes.
But I'm not going to try and discourage anybody, but I'll,
destructive
try and give them a little help if I can, or a suggestion.
Well,
I'm not going to diss anybody.
Part of the fun of doing the whole Lovecraft type thing that I was going for was I wanted to go with the idea that, in Lovecraft, you never see the monsters, so it was kind of like my way out of not having to show anything.
Why did you choose Dr. Fate? He's not really, I don't know, I wouldn't call him a mainstream DC character.
2 reasons. I really liked Dr. Fate's costume. That was one of them. And just the challenge, one day I'm like, I want to make another one of these things, and I want to try something from DC, and I had this old Kenner Dr. Fate action figure, and I'm like,
Superpowers.
That's the guy.
Oh, damn, you took one of my questions I put together.
Well, so I was like, I like Dr. Fate when I was little, because I really dug the costume. That's the one reason. And I guess more importantly was that, like, I want to make one of a character that nobody's ever done before. And
that's always refreshing.
Fate's on the list.
Yeah. Well, I commend you for that, because that's the kind of movies I look for, because I'm kind of sick of the Batman movies.
Exactly.
Most of them are, most of them are done badly. I hate to say that, but there's so many out there, and after Dead End and Grayson and stuff like that, it's hard to compare. But when you a Dr. Fate, whoa, seen anything like that? That's very cool. So I commend you for doing an original character.
Well, thank you. And part of it was fun for the challenge of how do I get this costume put together? How do I make this helmet? And I was fortunate enough to, after lots and lots of research on the internet, to find a guy down in Florida, and his company is Westerfield Studios, and he was very reasonable priced, and he put this thing together for me and sent it back, and I put the works on it, and I think it looks pretty good on video. So
it looks great. I was actually going to ask you about that. I know you got it from that particular Westerfield Studios, and I was going to actually compliment how great it looks.
Yeah, he did a really good job, and all I did was send him some reference drawings from some of the Dr. Fate comic books, and I said, I'd like the fin to be this big, and give me those cool angular eyes. And he makes armor and things like that for those LARPers who go around and beat each other with big foam swords.
Right.
So
those wacky kids.
Oh, he's like, so you want me to do it was like a custom, and he called it a Roman centurion helmet. And I said, yeah, that'd be perfect. And so
what it was
month later, here it comes. So
that does look cool. Yeah. And then they didn't at one point during the DC continuity there didn't he have like a half helmet? Didn't they cut out half the helmet?
That was that was the original.
Oh, it was?
No, actually, the original was the full mask, and then they changed it to a half mask, then back to a full mask.
Okay.
And in the current series, the guy who's Dr. Fate now, he wears the half mask all the time, and when he turns into Dr. Fate, it morphs into the full mask. So I guess
cool.
Trying to do something with both of them.
That's weird.
See, I did not know that. I thought he originally started out back in the day with the half, and then he switched over to the full. So I stand corrected.
What kind of fanboy are you?
I'm embarrassed. Damn it!
What kind of guy would I be? What kind of guy would I be if I didn't know anything about the character I was making a movie of?
Right.
Exactly. Thank you for that, by the way. Thank you for actually doing the freaking research.
Yeah. And I didn't. I took a little bit of liberty here and there, but like I said, it's a one-man show down here. So
you go beyond what Hollywood does. You actually learn about the character. That's interesting.
Who just takes the character and bastardizes it and changes it completely and adds their own little thing, and by the time it's done, it's just terrible.
Right, you're like the Justice League movie that's coming out.
Yeah. I don't know what to say about that.
I have mixed emotions about that. I want to see all those characters together, but I know it's going to be tough.
I don't know if they can pull it off. They can't even do one correctly. Imagine a bunch.
This is true.
Jesus.
Well,
X-Men.
What I'd like to ask you guys about is I'm stoked about the Hulk this summer.
Yeah, Edward Norton is a fantastic actor, and I understand he wrote or rewrote the script.
Really?
And I think he is it's gonna be a lot better than Ang Lee's Hulk, is my personal.
I was actually going to ask Gary. I see that you used some footage from the Ang Lee film.
Yeah,
in yours.
Actually, the only part of the Ang Lee film that I liked was the footage that I used.
The transformations were great. That was like the only good thing about it.
And I mean, I really did like ILM did a great job on the effects. I thought that the Hulk looked really good in the scenes that he was in.
Yeah, it had nothing to do with any of that. Yeah.
But I was so unhappy with the movie in general. Like, it was just 2 hours of crying and all this psychological stuff.
Right.
I wanted my Hulk movie to be an action movie, and so I was like, well, I like the footage. What can I do with the footage? I was unemployed at the time, so I had like 4 months to mess around with the video camera, and Hulk Aftermath's what I came up with.
Did you film that at a hotel or a motel, or was that like somebody's house?
Yeah, I did. It was at a Motel 6, and
I didn't catch any bed bugs.
That was my only budget, was the $42 that it cost me to rent the room for about 2 hours to do that film.
This is Tom Blodett for Hotel 6. We know it's hard for you to cheat on your spouse when you're on a budget. So whether you finally got into the pants of that new secretary at work, decided to do something special for Juan the gardener while your husband's away, or you're just drunk and the Sherman tank sitting next to you looks like an A-list celebrity after a couple of whiskey sours and a few beers, you need someplace to go to get your rocks off.
And plus the embarrassment of, me and John, the guy who played Bruce Banner in that, going, we need a room for about an hour and I'm camera.
Oh my God!
What are you doing? I'm going to make a movie. Yes, you are. No.
What was all that grunting in the room?
What have you done?
When I'm out, I do whatever I want.
You can't keep this up. I won't let you.
What's a puny rip like you gonna do about it?
I'm a scientist. I'll find a way to stop you.
They ain't found a thing on this whole planet that can stop me.
I gotta say, the actor you chose to play John Dedeke, is that the correct pronunciation?
Dedeke.
Well, Mr. Dedeke definitely looked like Banner. He had the old school round frames going on, and I believe at point, and actually wearing purple pants.
Yes, yeah, and those were actually his glasses from grade school.
The Harry Potter special.
Yes. And I kind of lucked out too. The motif in that hotel room, it was actually green and purple. So I was like, wow, cool.
Are you a fan of the current JSA book at all, or follow it?
No, I don't. The only things I'm reading right now are the new Hulk series with this crazy red Hulk thing. The new Thor series, and the Countdown to Mystery, which is the new Dr. Fate thing that they're doing with DC.
This is after all the 52 incident. I'm lost, man.
Yeah.
Personally, with all that stuff that went on, I'm just like, huh?
You know what? Actually, I read 52, and then they killed the question, and that was it for me.
Oh, he'll be back.
Have you seen Chris Notarilli's films at all? With the Blue Beetle in the question?
Yes, I have. They're pretty good.
Yeah, I think he handled that pretty. He wanted to put his own spin on it. He wasn't happy with the way things went in the actual continuity of the books, so he said, you know what, I'm going to do my own thing. This is what should happen. And I think more people should do that. They shouldn't feel like, forced into doing something just because it's formula. They should just do their own thing. And that's, you get props for doing the Dr. Fate off the bat. And then on top of the Dr. Fate, you got your own original little story going on, and then you bring in another character who's obscure.
Right, no, I mean, and that was part of the fun, is just taking a character that I like and putting him into a story that, I came up with that was... It was just really fun to mix, because Dr. Fate was actually created, when he was created, one of the influences for the character was H.P. Lovecraft, and, the whole magic and gods and all these unknown things. So I thought, well, wouldn't it be kind of cool to just melt those together into a short and see what it looks like?
Well, it definitely came out good. I was actually going to say, one thing I noticed is the costume choice you went with kind of resembled, in a way, kind of like a Doctor Strange meets Dr. Fate. Was that intentional?
It was intentional for the reason that I was not going to wear spandex.
I hear that.
Kind of like and then on top of that, is I wanted to kind of enhance the Eastern Indian sort of look, so I bought one of those that it's actually a long one of those, and I forget what they're called. It's an Indian dress with the high collar, the Nefri collar or whatever. And I just thought it was kind of cool to mix the helmet with the Indian dress and to kind of bring that Arabian sort of feel into it.
Yeah, it definitely worked out on the film because, like I always say, I've said this forever. I mean, things in the comic books are not going to necessarily look good on the screen. You're not going to have Wolverine jumping around in yellow tights looking good. It ain't going to work. You got to do some changes. So, I mean, I think your changes definitely worked out. I mean, you didn't have to do like the big gold boots and the gold gloves and all that. I think you definitely pulled it off with just kind of like a minimal look. And, the helmet, being as good as it was, pulled everything together, definitely.
Well, thanks. And I kind of thought that, and I was kind of going with that whole golden age look too, anyway, with no gloves. And I kind of hope that it gives you that. I hope that when you watch it gives you that sort of golden age feel, because it's supposed to feel kind of like in the 30s. And
you had that kind of like grainy footage from when the guy discovers the book. That was kind of cool.
Yeah, that was cool.
More with like the old grainy footage style there.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of work to do that, though, because, like I said, it's a one-man show, basically, me and my computer for hours and hours on end putting this thing together.
How'd you do the special effects?
The special effects were, like, seen specifically, or just in general?
Just in general.
Some things I used in After Effects. Most of the magic effects were done with particle illusion, which is an awesome program.
I really like that part where Dr. Fate blocks the guy from coming at me has like that shield going on. That was great.
Yeah, that was a neat little effect. And for those things, I mean, you literally sit down and you go frame by frame so that it matches the movement. And it was, I was wanting to rip my hair out by the end of the thing, but.
We live in a world of chaos, where evil forces struggle against the delicate balance so they may swallow the earth in darkness. In a world with such evil, such hate, there must be an equal and opposite power, a force of order.
Many lifetimes ago, in my search for ancient wonders, I managed to unearth an object of most wondrous power, the fabled Helm of Fate.
Actually, how long did it take you to actually finish the first Dr. Fate?
Let's see. I started in October. No, it would have been probably 3 or 4 months worth of between shooting and getting people to show up who I needed, and then the editing process, and then adding special effects. I guess it was about 4 months.
Pretty good, not too shabby.
Was the movie about
deal?
15 minutes, right?
Well, I
like that.
actually pared it down to 9.5.
So there's some unused footage out there?
There's actually, I did put together a gag reel, but I haven't posted it anywhere. But we do have it's about 1.5 minutes from the first film of just us screwing around and messing up lines and things like that.
There's always that.
It's pretty funny. It's pretty funny to watch me dancing in the Dr. Fate costume.
Who'd you get as far as people in your film? Just friends?
Yeah, it's just friends. John Dedekey's like my Bruce Campbell. I try to use him in everything.
I was actually going to ask you, have you seen any of the other attempts at JSA fan films? There was Sam Gardner's JSA trailer he did. There was Toxic Lipstick's JSA Chronicles, which is coming out soon with Wildcat. The first installment's going to be Wildcat, and I think they're going to change it. Each installment's going to have, like, a Dr. Midnight, different JSA character. Have you seen any of those, or no?
I think I saw the trailer that you were talking about. Was that the one where they introduced like Sandman and the Spectre and?
Yeah, that's Sam Gardner. I've been talking to him on and off for a long time. He's from England. He did the Golden Age. Jay Garrick is the Flash, and he's got the Spectre in there and the old Batman. He also did a Spectre fan film, which came out probably like the end of last year, and it really didn't go over as well, but it was pretty good. I give him credit. The Spectre's tough. I mean, it's a tough one to tackle, the whole supernatural thing. It's kind of like Dr. Fate. So at one point in their book, they actually had 2 heavy magic guys. They had Dr. Fate and the Spectre on their team at the same time.
And I think the Hour Man, too.
That's right.
Yeah. Well, let me throw a couple questions at you. A couple Dr. Fate questions. Let's see how diehard you are. Are you in for it?
Yeah, I'm willing to give it a shot.
What year and what comic did Dr. Fate first appear?
What year? It was More Fun Comics.
Got it. Do you know which issue?
Oh, God. Number 55?
Very well done. Yes, sir.
I was going to say Fun Comics.
And I don't know. Was that like 1953 or something?
It's actually 1940.
Okay.
Wow.
What supergroup did Dr. Fate join in All-Star Comics number 3? That's pretty easy.
That's got to be Justice Society.
Yeah. Let's see what else I got here. The original Dr. Fate. Do you know who the original Dr. Fate is?
Kent Nelson.
There you go. I didn't add that as in the question, but because I know you know it. Is the son of an archaeologist who died discovering the tomb of the mystical being known as?
Naboo.
Exactly. And then I put a little comment. It's also the planet where Luke's mom is from.
Right. Telling.
But that's
you are a dork, my friend. I'm a fanboy, and I'm calling you a dork. That's severe.
I feel very wounded by your words.
I'll have you know that Luke's mother came from the same place.
Oh, up yours. Okay. Anyways. You guys already answered this. The first Dr. Fate toy was released under what toy line?
One of the greatest ever, baby.
You know what year?
I'd say 1985.
That's correct.
I was gonna.
Oh my God! I wait.
I was gonna say 85 or 86.
Yeah. Now these are all pretty easy. In the 1990s animated Superman series, what was the episode called where the character of Dr. Fate appeared?
Oh my God. Oh. Can I stall you while I go grab the DVD?
Sure, go for it. You can cheat.
I can't remember whether or not in the Superman animated series if he had the fin on his helmet or not, because in the Justice League Unlimited he doesn't.
Yeah, I can't remember either. Remember they had...
I don't like that. I don't like how they took that off. It was kind of stupid.
They had him, they had Flash, they had Green Lantern, and they had Aquaman.
That's right, yep. I remember, I believe Orion, too, at one point, from the New Gods.
Yeah, they had all the Kirby...
And I think, didn't they have Lobo? Wasn't Lobo on Superman?
Lobo,
You're right.
I believe was the first season, actually.
He fought him in space with the Superman spacesuit, remember?
A lot of the Kirby stuff. Kirby, was Lobo Kirby?
No.
No? I'm sorry.
Lobo was actually in Omega Men. That was his first book. He made his first appearance in Omega Men. Obscure 80s book, yeah. And that's one to grow on, bitch.
I knew that was coming.
Okay,
that's my signature.
So,
what's that, Gary?
What was the episode?
Well, that's what I was asking you. I can repeat the question.
It has Fate in the title, right?
Yeah.
He's checking Google as we speak.
The Hand of Fate.
There you go. All right, I only have one more question.
It's not another episode, right?
No, I don't think it's on that DVD. Who were the creators, writer and artist, who originally created Dr. Fate?
I believe the guy's name is Gardner Fox.
Correct. He was the writer.
The artist, I couldn't tell you.
Howard Sherman. That's one to grow on. Those are my questions that took me 5 hours to put together. What's that, Gary?
They were good questions.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, anything to get the public to know more about the character Dr. Fate, I'm all for it.
I was actually going to ask you, have you had, I know a number of people who have done DC fan films that I know have actually been contacted by DC and Warner Brothers saying, we know you're doing a film, don't sell it, we're watching you and stuff like that. Have you ever been contacted or no?
No, I haven't been contacted by Marvel or DC.
Thank your lucky stars.
I guess that's good news?
Yeah, you don't want that.
They usually contact people the lawyers do on a slow day.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I mean, for the fan film craze is, they really can't wrap their hands around it anyway, but,
Exactly.
If they ever called me and said, why are you doing this? I'd be like, because you're not doing anything with the character, that's why.
Exactly.
You're sick of waiting.
Yeah, I don't think the powers that be quite comprehend what's in front of them. I mean, they've only seen what's happened so far, but once the technology expands, they ain't seen nothing yet.
No, and I hope to see some other good ones with some good characters in the future.
That's why Fanboy Theater's here and Fan Film Follows is here, so we can let everybody know, who, what's coming out, who's making them, just to get the public excited about it. And that's the whole point. So I'm glad that we have gentlemen like yourself making these, otherwise unused characters, the stars of their own movies. It's great. Being a fanboy, you love it. Like when I saw Justice League Unlimited and I saw like Blackhawk on the screen and I saw Sergeant Rock and Vigilante, all these like obscure characters from way back when on the screen, I was flipping out. I was like, oh my God, Blue Devil, and all these B-listers and Z-listers, and it's always really refreshing to see somebody, use those forgotten guys and to make them in the forefront.
Well, and I heard there was rumors, like when they added the Question to the Justice League series, that after they did the first episode with him in it, like Bruce Timm wanted to make a Question animated series.
Oh wow, yeah, because that became wildly popular. That Question, that portrayal of the Question, especially the voice acting was great.
Yeah, that's shit.
Get his name.
Mental.
Jeffrey Combs.
You got it, the guy from DS9. A lot of Star Trek.
The gentleman you had playing the Question, he did pretty good with the voice. Was that him doing the voice, or was that a voiceover?
Oh, you mean on mine?
Yeah, on your second Dr. Fate film.
No, that's me doing it. I actually took my voice and pitched it about half a step up. but my fiance
somebody kick you in the balls.
my fiance says I should contact Jeffrey Combs and ask him if he'll just read the script, and I'll place his voice in there.
With the Hulk film, why did you choose the Gray Hulk?
The Gray Hulk's my favorite. When I got into comic books when I was 12 years old, the first comic book I bought was a Gray Hulk comic book. So, it was the Gray Hulk, and then shortly after, so I was introduced to the Hulk with the Gray Hulk, and then shortly after that, the TV series. So that's kind of why I used the TV series and the Great Hulk to make my Hulk short.
And a weird sort of coincidence, my first book ever was a Hulk book as well. It was Incredible Hulk. I forget the issue, but it was Hulk against Avalanche and Earthquake, and it was like a double team on the Hulk. But this was back in 81 or something like that. This book came from. I don't know how old a gentleman you are, but I'm going to be 33, so I go a little bit way back. But the TV series is definitely I grew up on that as well, and it was cool to see that you used the music from the old TV series.
Yeah, I kind of liked I really liked the way it turned out. It was a fun little 6-minute short, and some people like it. Some people think it's like completely boring.
Well, I think
you go ahead.
You didn't overdo it, so you made it short, and you could have made it 30 minutes, like a lot of fan films are.
And it might have not been as good.
Basically, the point is you made it in a good enough amount of time to not make it boring. That's the buttering up of the guest portion of the podcast.
Oh, thank you. I feel buttered.
I bow at your buttered feet. That sounds really perverted.
What? Did you say something about a Red Hulk earlier?
Yeah, that's the new thing. I don't know what that's all about.
I don't know what it is. It's what is it? Loeb and McGinnis are writing this new Hulk book, and there is a red Hulk in it.
I'm Marvel retarded. I haven't read a Marvel comic book in probably 15 years. And I'm 23, by the way.
Well, then you've missed a lot of crap.
Yeah, no shit.
You definitely have.
Yeah, there's very few books I'm picking up right now, and I mean, I'm just reading this Hulk thing to find out what they could possibly be doing and how quickly they're going to turn it back around before the movie comes out.
Right.
What did you think about that World War Hulk thing that went on?
I actually liked that. It was kind of neat to see the Hulk destroy just about everybody in the Marvel Universe.
Because he's quite capable.
Yes.
Now they're all zombies.
Oh, God. Hulk was actually in that Marvel zombie film, I think. Was it the end?
Yep, that's correct.
When the Hulk comes out, you're like, oh no, here comes zombie Hulk.
Well, actually, at the end was Captain America. But of course, he's dead too. Steve Rogers.
Boom. Hulk want brains.
Speaking of how they'll flip that around, once the Captain America movie comes out, Steve Rogers will be very much...
Yeah, well, he was a Skrull. That was they killed a Skrull. They didn't kill Captain America.
Really?
Oh, that is just horrid.
When did that happen?
Oh, no. I'm just saying. The new thing that they're doing. They had Civil War and then World War Hulk, and now the next thing is the Secret Invasion, where apparently some of the superheroes in the Marvel Universe are actually Skrulls in disguise.
Tony Stark probably is.
You're just thinking that's what's...
I'm just thinking, I'm going ahead and saying, Marvel, that's your way to get him back.
Yeah.
You haven't thought of it already.
That is a very Marvel-y kind of a thing. I could picture them doing that.
Yes. I mean, DC does it too.
Absolutely.
Superman should have stayed dead, probably. But
I agree with you. Jean Grey.
Hey.
And now I'm hearing rumors that they're going to kill Batman, possibly.
Whatever.
That won't last. When I heard they killed Captain America, I laughed. I was like, this is a joke. He's coming back. And he came back with this terrible suit that he's wearing. What is that thing?
That is Alex Ross's interpretation. They said, make us a new costume, and he just threw up a bunch of colors on a piece of paper and said, here it is. Captain America's got a gun now.
Incredible artist. And he came up with that? Like, what?
Bucky.
Oh, no, that's Winter Soldier.
Oh.
Isn't it the same guy?
The Winter Soldier and the new Captain America?
I never followed Captain America, so he died, and all I did was go on eBay and see what people were trying to get for that book. It was ridiculous.
Yeah.
$60.
And then, 2 months later, it's worth 50 cents.
Exactly. Same with the Death of Superman.
Like all those, Spawn #1 is now like a doorstop in my room.
Yeah.
People were paying like $60, I remember, at a time for
No
those
way.
Spawn issue.
Yeah, and now it's in the 50-cent, the bin of unsorted books.
Crap,
anything old school Image is definitely bin fodder.
Except for Youngblood 1.
That is a classic.
What about, or Zero, number 0, Youngblood 0.
Zero.
Let's not forget about Rob Liefeld's take on Captain America. That was great.
Oh, right.
Slight sarcasm.
You remind me of that old Levi's jeans commercial. Did you ever see the Levi's jeans commercial with Rob Liefeld in it?
He was actually in one?
Yeah, he was in it was this thing where he was wearing Levi's jeans, or one of the jeans things. I know it's a jean commercial, and he's wearing these jeans, and they're all like, so Rob, you've never had any formal art training? And he's like, no. And I'm like, really?
It shows.
Honestly, I think he's got some of the worst comic book art I've ever seen.
He's got a shoulder pad fetish and like a belt fetish. Like these big, you're wearing like a toaster oven on your fucking belt. And those other things I have on there. Unnecessary pouches. What are in those pouches? Air.
And everybody's got Wolverine hair.
Yeah.
Exactly. What's up with that? Remember that one book they did? What was it? The Youngblood spin-off team? That one dude had like the same cowl as Wolverine. It was like a blatant ripoff. Remember that?
I know what you're talking about. I can't remember.
Oh, I know
the character.
Yeah.
In all defense to Rob Liefeld, I actually did like the New Mutants when he joined it. So maybe I'm the outcast.
I never even knew about that. That was. Are you talking about
when he joined?
Took over for it was the end of New Mutants turning into the other series.
Yeah, into X-Force.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, those are actually pretty good
that.
books. I'll agree with that.
And then he came out with Youngblood, and that's when his whole reputation.
Well, I mean, he did create Cable, and from what I understand, Cable is a decent character.
Yeah, until they turned it into Scott and Scott's.
Now he's like whatchamacallit, John Connor from the Terminator.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I noticed they were coming out with a new series, and I never followed Cable to begin with, but now I'm really not going to. Yeah, what is up with the X-Men series? Is that everybody's got to be like related to everybody else?
Yeah, apparently, it's like
there's a lot of incest going on.
Exactly. Did any near?
Are you my sister?
No wonder they're.
I don't care.
No wonder they're mutants.
Gary's getting used to us now. He's starting to loosen up.
Don't get comfortable with us. It's the worst mistake you will make, trust me. Any second now, I'll be farting into this mic. That's about it. I mean, unless you have anything, Mr. Mosier?
No, I think I'm all set unless Gary wants to honor us with any closing thoughts about his films or his upcoming films or films in general.
I mean, I've got a couple in the pipe that I want to make that I haven't... some that I haven't even scripted. There's a couple, obviously Part 3 to a Dr. Fate, which whenever I get around to it, I'm planning on starting. I actually have partially written. I want to make a Puppet Master short.
Oh, that's cool.
Because Full Moon released the 1-to-1 scale replicas of the puppets.
Right.
And Puppet Master was one of those movies when I was, like 9 years old. It was one of those movies like, I gotta have these puppets. And, like 50 years later, they finally come out with them. So.
They're really getting big again. I freaking get emails from them all the time. Full Moon.
Well, unfortunately, like most of their movies that they're coming out with now are crap. But the puppets are cool.
I like the old
I think pretty cool.
Tim Thomerson Trancers. I like that series. That's when Helen Hunt. That's the first time I ever saw her.
Trancers, yeah.
Yeah, that was a good series. And then there was Toy Man.
And there's Dr. Mordred and Crash and Burn and
Toy Man, was that the one with Rutger Hauer?
No, that was also Tim.
That was Doll Man.
Was it Doll Man?
Doll Man was the old Golden Age character. What am I talking?
So you're thinking about making that, but no plans.
I don't have anything written. I just need to do something to justify the cost of the puppets. I'm like, I keep telling everybody, well, I'm going to put them in a film.
Do you think about just doing? Because obviously, fan films, you get more notoriety than anything else. You ever think of doing your own thing?
If I ever have an original idea that I want to put to video, yeah, I probably would. But unfortunately, the only things I keep thinking of are like, gosh, these are cool. Somebody already did it, but I'll make.
Right.
They just take it and make it your own thing. Even if you want to do something somebody else did, just put your own little spin on it, and then it takes on its own identity, pretty much.
Yeah.
Change the names to protect the innocent.
No, one thing I would like to do, because I'm into the H.P. Lovecraft stuff, is every year they have an H.P. Lovecraft Film Festival, and it'd be kind of fun to put together a short for that and see if I can get on their DVD. They release a DVD every year of their best short. So I may entertain taking one of his stories or something and applying it to a short and sending that in.
Thank you very much for Jesus. Excuse me.
Thank you very much for Jesus.
I'll get that bleep out of my mouth. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, you're welcome, guys.
We'll have to do it again.
It was nice having you, man. I appreciate it.
Oh, yeah, it was great being on here. And if you guys want me to talk to you again and we make fun of some stuff going on, I'd be happy to do it.
Absolutely.
We're always looking for correspondence, and you'd make a good one.
Yeah, no, hey.
You're very natural.
Thank you.
All right, Gary. You have yourself a good evening.
You too, guys.
All right.
Take care, buddy. Thank you.
Bye-bye now.
You're welcome. Talk to you later. Bye.
Bye-bye.